Hello! For today's video, I am burying myself in books. Possibly literally. Whew! Okay, so all of the books are on the floor so they don't murder me, because I think they wanted to. So what I'm doing today, as sort of a follow-up to my subscription boxes of 2018 video, which is linked down below if you didn't see it. This is all of Shelflove's Shelflove Crate and one from Shelflove Reads, all of their books that they sent out in 2018 because I received all 12. There's actually more than 12. Just a quick note before we jump into this video, down below I have linked my Goodreads shelf because my Goodreads is divided into where I got the book, and so I have a shelf of all of the Shelflove books and it's linked down below if you want to check that out, and feel free to friend me on Goodreads. So without further ado, here's our video. First up in January, we had the theme Royal Pains, and our book of the month, Reign of the Fallen. The author of this book is Sarah Glenn Marsh, and book 2 is coming out very shortly, and by the time this video is posted, might be out. It's a book that I keep meaning to read, but I keep not getting around to it, and it sounds really awesome because it's about necromancy. This book also included a signed bookplate. Next up in February, we had Hide and Seek as our theme, and there were actually 2 books, but one of them is missing. The first book we had was Mark's Woman. It was a paperback. The second book that I actually have is The Queen's Rising. The Queen's Rising also has a signed bookplate. This is another book that has a sequel coming out very shortly, but I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. Hopefully that will happen soon. It's on my list of things that I really, really want to get to. March was Fiery Redheads, and our book was To Kill a Kingdom. Right here you can see the signed bookplate of the month. This book is a Little Mermaid retelling, and it's one that I was pretty excited for, even though I also haven't read it yet, because I actually almost bought this at the store, and I'm glad I didn't because I went home and like 2 days later is when my Shelflove box arrived for that month and it had this book in it. So I'm super pumped about that, and it's a standalone, so I don't really have an excuse for not having read it yet. The other 2 I haven't read them yet because they're series. I really need to catch up on my books. Maybe I'll have a read-through challenge where I read all of my Shelflove books, but that would involve having to find the one I lost. Next, April. Our theme was Magical Manipulators, and the book of the month, The Ash Princess. This is a book that I was really excited about because I'd gotten an art copy, thank you NetGalley, so I had actually already read it before it arrived, but I had wanted it on my shelf and I'd been planning on getting it anyway, so I was really excited to get it. Book 2 of Ash Princess, Lady Smoke, is due out in February, I believe February 5th, but don't quote me on that. And here is our signed bookplate. Next, for May, we had Written in the Stars. The book this month was Brightly Burning, and I love the cover because it's purple. Signed bookplate. Also, the inside of the book is purple, which makes it even cooler. I haven't read that book either, mostly because it's sci-fi and I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but like I said, I probably need to do a mega marathon of all my Shelflove books. Next up, June, Romance Reboot. June's book of the month, Lifelike. I also haven't read that one because, you know, sci-fi. I don't read a lot of that. Although, from what I've seen around Instagram, I know it's a popular book, and I'm pretty sure there's a sequel coming out. Don't quote me on that. Here's our signed bookplate. Next, we've got July, Let the Games Begin. And for the book of the month, The Bird and the Blade. This one's from a debut author. Several of these are from debut authors, and it's another one that I'm really excited about, and I do need to get around to actually reading. Instead of doing a signed bookplate, this one they actually were able to get directly signed by the author, which I think makes it 10 times cooler, although I'm not picky. Our August box for Shelflove was Unlikely Heroes. The book of the month was These Rebel Waves. I also have not read it yet. I think I've only read like 2 of these. This one, not only was it signed by the author down here, it was also personalized up there, which makes it super exciting. September was Life in the Shadows. The September book of the month, Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis. Give the Dark My Love was probably my favorite out of all the Shelflove books this year, although It's definitely a tie between that one and Ash Princess because they're both so fantastic, and I might just be saying Give the Dark My Love because I've read it the most recently. Also, we don't have an ETA on the sequel to Give the Dark My Love, which is horrible because I need it. I need it so badly. This one is also signed by the author. The October theme was magic and mischief. And for October, the book of the month was Grim Lovelies, which is a lovely book that I have not read. Right here, we have our book of the month, author signature. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there is one in here that's from Shelflove Reads, which is the sister company of Shelflove Crate. And so I also got Shelflove Reads November Write Your Own Reads box. The theme of this box was obviously for NaNoWriMo National Novel Writing Month, which happens every year in November, and I always participate. The book of the month was The Assassin's Guide to Love and Treason. And right there we've got our signature. Jumping back to Shelflove Crate for the rest of the video, November's Shelflove Crate is Sibling Rivalries. And the book of that month was Blanca and Roja, which I'm assuming I pronounced incorrectly. Here you can see our signed bookplate. Last and certainly not least is December Feats of Illusions. For the book of the month we had Amber and Dusk by Lyra Celine. There's also a signed bookplate, but as you can see I have not stuck it in yet. So that is all of our books for Shelflove Crate and one from Shelflove Reads for 2018. One of the things that I am doing differently in 2019 is instead of subscribing to a box for all 12 months, I will just be getting the boxes that interest me, and I will be looking for spoilers so I know what books are in what boxes so I don't get the same book twice, which has happened. Have you read any of these books? And if so, did you like them? Which one should I read first? And do you think I should do a Shelflove readathon where I read through all of them as quickly as possible? Please let me know down below. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.